Damn, that's good. What's up, guys? I'm at the University of Idaho in Moscow, Idaho, and turned back. And it's so beautiful here in Idaho. I had to discover some more. Anyways, I'm gonna go into the library and do some work. But yeah, my plan is to actually travel southward down Idaho because I didn't get to discover Idaho enough. My first time in Idaho. Well, guys, I've got a toilet to destroy. Peace out. What's up, guys? So this is my third day now. I'm in Moscow, Idaho. Yeah, I did track back a little bit east because I decided I wanted to see more of Idaho. I really liked Coeur d'Alene. Now I'm in Moscow, and tomorrow I'm going to go to a different town. So because it's so beautiful here, I'm putting Idaho on the map for potential land purchase. And this route will also allow me to travel through Nevada, which is also another contender for land purchase. I really like it here. It's so beautiful. Maybe you can't see so much because I'm in a parking lot. I just wanted to show you guys something. So this is like my whole kitchen storage area. Got my fridge here, and then down here I'll put other like canned foods, drinks, condiments. I got water, some containers, crackers and stuff. And yeah, and then what I do is, like, when I'm driving, I just put this box down here like this, and it just sits nice and neat right there when I'm giving like Lyft rides, which I don't do anymore. But you know, it didn't look too terrible, you know. It didn't look like I was living out of my car. But yeah, that's how I got things set up. I'm gonna fast tomorrow, so I don't have much food. But yeah, that's kind of what my fridge is looking like right now. What's up, content leeches who never subscribe, comment section warriors, watch while deucing enthusiasts? Yeah, I was planning to go to the library today and do some work, but I think I want to get in a workout, sweat, take a shower, get a shave. There's no Planet Fitness here in Moscow, Idaho. I looked on the map. There's one in Lewiston, Idaho, which looks like it's a 45-minute drive from here. So that'll be nice. We'll go for a nice drive. I'll record some footage of Idaho for you guys. And for you non-Americans, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy seeing what all these different areas of the United States look like. And maybe you'll understand why I decided to turn back and drive southward down Idaho. So after I turn off the camera, I'm gonna down this whole bag of peanut butter cups, and then I'm probably gonna feel nauseous and disgusted with myself. But that will help me do my fast tomorrow. It'll motivate me to do my fast tomorrow. So putting a positive spin on shoving junk food into my pie hole and being a sloppy, lazy pig. All right, looks like I got a Kentucky Fried Chicken, Taco Bell. Yeah, I got a KFC right there. I got a Taco Bell behind there. And I got a Safeway over here. And I'm gonna go pop a deuce. Which one would you choose? If you were living in your car and you had such a grand selection of deuce taking, where would you go? Hey guys, so I'm driving from Moscow, Idaho to Lewiston, Idaho. It's only a 45-minute drive. Turns out this is one of the most beautiful drives I've had on my whole journey over the past year since I left Miami. So how did I get here? How did I get to living in my car? Well, actually, I had this dream for a long time. This is something that I was thinking about even in my mid 20s, except in my original concept, I fantasized living in a van. Simply because a van would be more spacious. I could put a bed back there and leave the bed out and maybe even have a small desk. And my vision was that I would just stay in one town and have a local job that I would go to every day and work. And I've always been, a guy who just buckles down and can just save money. And I will live in like the cheapest place to do that. And I think about all the places I've lived in over the past 20, 25 years. Even when I lived in Osaka or in Kansai, which, it's one of the more expensive places to live in the world. I rarely paid rent that was over $500 a month, but I had to live in some really danky places though. When I got to Uganda, well, the cost of living was cheap there. Well, at least for renting a place to live, not so much other things, but yeah, I was able to get a nice 4-bedroom house with a compound for like $130 a month. And now that I'm here in America, I don't even pay rent. I bought this car that I'm in outright, and all I pay for now is gas and insurance. I feel like my insurance is expensive because I have like a perfect driving record. I've never had an accident, yet I'm paying $100 a month. And I think it's because my car is licensed in Florida. So I want to try to change that situation if I can. But yeah, I've always been good at just buckling down and saving money. And I would say that I'm definitely not saving money as fast as I thought I would, but I am saving money. Kind of a shocker, coming back here and living in America. Like, okay, I've been back in America for a year now. I can't believe it, man. The time just flies so freaking fast. But yeah, I did come back to America a couple times during my 19 years in Japan, but never for more than 2 weeks. But yeah, I've been here a year now, and my cost of living is pretty low because I don't have to pay a rent. And I actually like what one commenter said. They said, think of the average like rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in any big city in America. That's going to be around $1,400, $1,500 a month, and you're saving that much every month. I like that comment because that's true. I am still able to save money, but America is pretty pricey. Like, the farther west I've traveled, the more expensive gas seems to get. I had to get out of Washington. I couldn't stand paying over $4. I couldn't stand paying over $4 a gallon for gas. I'm laughing because I broke that down into liters, or let's say cost per liter. And all the Europeans and Australians were losing their shit, saying how it's still cheap compared to what they pay. So I hear you. I hear you guys. I guess us Americans are pretty lucky with our gas prices. So yeah, I had been thinking about car life from my 20s, but like I said, I initially imagined myself living in a van. And when I first came to America, I did have a place to stay, and my mind was like going crazy trying to figure out what kind of vehicle to buy. One thing I didn't want to do is buy a crapster, just a big hunk of metal crap that would just continually cost me money in repairs. So I was willing to spend a good amount of money to get something that was like, I knew, it's something a little bit higher quality that I knew wasn't going to break down on me or had less of a probability of crapping out on me. And yeah, I knew that like right off the bat I wanted to start doing Uber and Lyft so I could just start working and making money. And I couldn't picture doing that in a van. Like, I mean, I guess you can do it in a van, but it seemed like it would cost a lot to do it in a van. And just the right opportunity came for me. And God, they're in Florida, probably not just Florida, probably like other states as well. Because I actually also experienced this when I was in Arizona. But just car dealers are so slimy. And they're slimy. And also just people that put up ads on Craigslist. Like, people are just liars, man. They're just liars, and they'll rip you off. And car dealers are the worst. They're so manipulative. And I was staying in like Naples, and I was looking online every day trying to find a good deal. And I found this car dealer in Orlando, Florida. And it turns out it was run by a bunch of Venezuelan guys. And anyways, I rented a car and I drove up to Orlando and went to this dealership to look at this car. It was the current car that I have, which is a 2013 Prius V. And, these guys were straight shooters. And, the owner was a mechanic, and he said, yeah, I just buy the cars at auction. I fix them up real nice, and I sell them. And he's like, I know that if I sell people shitty cars and give them bad deals, like, I'm going to go out of business. So I make sure the cars are good to go before I sell them. And I test drove the car. I had it looked over by 2 separate mechanics before I bought it. And they said it was good to go. And I paid for it right there that day with cash. Anyways, I love living in my car. And, I think probably everybody who does this kind of lifestyle, who lives in their car or their van, they always imagine another vehicle they could possibly enjoy living in. So naturally, I do too. And, in this part of the journey of my life, it's okay. It's okay for me, for one person. There's super great things about living in a Prius. Is just like the mileage is just so good. And I haven't had a single mechanical issue since I bought this car. So no stress about that. No losing money on those kind of repairs and mechanical issues. I often imagine, if I did it again, or if I do it, in the future with a girlfriend or something, obviously if I did it with a girlfriend, I'd need something more spacious. And I think about, how would I do it? I think I probably would do it in a van next time around. When you look at a van, there's like certain signs you can see, especially, if you do car life or van life, where somebody is living in their van. But with the car, I mean, yeah, I can just blend into almost anywhere. And it's pretty easy to park overnight. And yeah, so that's one thing I really love about it. But yeah, I have no regrets, and especially getting away from doing the Uber and Lyft work, which I didn't enjoy, and I didn't like always being in my car all day long and then living in my car. I did not enjoy that. But now that I'm working on some other options for income, I'm really enjoying the travel aspect. I mean, just look at the views that you're looking at right now. And, I rolled into Lewiston, and I'm going to go to the gym, have a nice workout, which is going to make me feel nice. And after that, take a shower, get all cleaned up, come back to the car, kind of research, look for a place to stay tonight, a place that will provide shade for me in the morning. And I'll have a small dinner and then crawl back into my bed and watch some shows. And yeah, it's pretty nice and pretty stress-free. All right, guys, made it to Planet Fitness. about to head in there, but I just want to say that I dropped my Patreon price down to $7, and man, a bunch of you joined, and I totally appreciate that. And because so many people joined, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a post on Patreon where you can request a video, like a topic that you want me to talk about, and I'll make that video just for my patrons. And because so many people joined, I'm going to leave it up for another month at $7. Yeah, so check it out. I got over 1,000 videos on there, lots of content from my life overseas and private personal stuff. All right, guys, I'm out. Deuces.